So I'm like, damn, my fucking throat is. Kahari, edit that out.
Together, I'm a mess, straight up. In bikini bottom, I'm with Sandy. Moesha keep on drinking out of brandy. Keisha eat the Molly like it's.
Alrighty, so guess who's back at it like a crack addict who took a binge for a little while, and now I'm back. I know it's been a while, and I'm trying to be more consistent. I really am. But I don't know, it's something about this coronavirus. It got me a little down and out. But no, for real, I do definitely need to get back on it. I'm gonna try, and I want to say thank you to everybody who watched my last video, everybody who subscribed. I appreciate all of y'all. Like, for real, I really did not expect that. I didn't expect so much support and everything like that, especially when I was getting finessed. Okay, not really, I wasn't getting finessed, but glad you guys still here with me. Like, we're here with it. This content is from when I was dating the poor, the broke, the ugly, and the useless. Damn! Okay, so I'm not like this anymore. Please remember that at the end of the day, baby. But anyways, let me jump right into it. Okay, see the look, the fit, the like, you know, a little quarantine and vibe. Okay, let me for real get to it for real. So this was back when I had went on a cruise. I went on a cruise, a little backstory. I went on a cruise with my mom and my two aunts and all that stuff. And we went on the Super Bowl cruise from Long Beach to New Mexico. And it was the most fun I ever had. It was my first cruise. It was so much fun. Like, the people that I met there, like, it was a good ass time for a Super Bowl cruise. You're obviously on a ship with like a whole bunch of other people. And I'm already from Cali, so I know how Cali people get down, and I just knew this boat was finna be lit. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to make some friends that I could like go to the club with, that I can like do stuff with on the ship. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go like walk around and see who I could like potentially be friends with for this time that I'm on this ship. I met a lot of cool ass people out there, but it was this one guy that like when we were going around the ship, he would like see me, and he would come up to the group that I was talking to, like just to talk to everybody, because the people that I was fucking with, they had their own group too. So mostly everybody that they was fucking with, or let me stop cussing so much. Everybody they was messing with, like, all knew each other. I was basically the outsider of the group or whatever. It was this dude that like just kept watching us as we're like going around the ship doing different stuff, because it's like a bunch of activities you can do on the ship and everything like that. So he told one of the girls that I was with, was all like, oh, I want to talk to her, and I was like, I'm good. He wasn't even cute, like none of that. So I'm just like, man, I don't really know about that. I'm just trying to have a good time on the cruise, like, you know. He just left me alone after that, and I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Dodged a bullet right there, whatever. I end up like I didn't stop hanging out with them, but like they just started doing other stuff that I wasn't really on. I wasn't really on that type of time. And the floor that we were on the ship was the most lit, and I mean most lit. So everybody was coming to our hallway to like party, to drink, to like do everything. It was just it was popping. Like, people was really charging people money to come in this hallway and like have a Soul Train line type stuff. So I end up seeing him there as I'm hanging out with like my mom and my aunt and stuff, and he's like walking past us, like just saying, like, you know when just a whack ass nigga is like, oh yeah, I won $3,000 at the casino over there, like just like trying to brag, like just stupid stuff. Like, niggas like to show out when they get around girls and start bragging. So he started like bragging, and I mean bragging to the max at this point. Literally, my aunt is looking at me like,
okay, you hear him, you hear what he's talking about.
And I'm like, yeah, I hear him. He won at the casino. So what? Like, I'm still not gonna talk to him. I'm good. And she's like,
well, come on, at least you could try to like be friends with him for the time that you're on the cruise or whatever.
I'm like, be friends with him? Friends? Nah, I'm okay. So it was like the next day. Because you get to bring wine on your cruise. So we brought wine and they guzzled that up. So they were lit, and I mean lit. We went downstairs to go to the bar. So we're going down, we're at the bar or whatever, and once again, he's right there. He's there again. And he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy you guys some drinks and blase. I'm like, oh, okay, you're trying to get on my good side so I can talk to you for real, huh? And he was like,
no, I just like to treat ladies right, dude. And I came up on some money last night at the casino, like $3,000.
And I'm like, okay, here we go, hearing about that washed up ass $3,000 that you won at the fucking casino. I hear it, I do, baby, but I don't care. Like in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, you want to just keep bragging about this money? Well, bet good. You could buy all my girls drinks, and then you can buy me drinks when we get off to go to Mexico. But no, so I was like, okay, well, you want to buy us drinks now, then you're gonna be supplying all the drinks the rest of this cruise. And he was like,
oh yeah, no problem, I got you.
So he was like,
oh yeah, well, I'm gonna have to like keep in touch with you while we're on the cruise.
and on the cruise, I didn't have any like I didn't pay for Wi-Fi, and I was not using my phone while I was there, because I just didn't want the deal to be crazy. And I was like, okay, well, you can have my Snapchat. I give him my Snapchat, and fast forward to when we get off of the cruise, and he like hit me up on Snapchat, just like small talk, regular small talk, and I'm telling, like, I'm still entertaining this basically. He was all like,
yeah, well, I stay in Cali and you stay in Vegas, so I'm gonna make a trip out to Vegas, and I'm gonna take you out or something like that.
And I was like, take me out? You fly out here, take me out? Sounds like a waste of my time. And then I was just like, oh yeah, well, I'm like busy with like a lot of homework, and I just like have like, you know, life is just happening right now. I'm trying to get things in order. And he was like, okay, yeah, no problem, we can make it happen like another time. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, no problem, another time. So this time, like, time flies by once again. We haven't talked in like who knows how many months or whatever.
So he texted me again on Snapchat a few months later and was like, oh, well, I'm gonna be out in Vegas with my boys, and I want to meet up with you and take you to dinner and like take you out and take you shopping and stuff.
So I was like, take me shopping? That right there, baby. No problem. I'm on my way. I'm putting on my boots. We're headed out. Let's go. Chop. So I'm like, oh, okay, you want to take me out? You want to take me shopping? Whatever, we can do that. So I finally say yes. When he comes out to Vegas, I'm like, okay, well, we can meet up at the Forum Shops over at Caesar's Palace, and then we can go grab something to eat, because there's like a whole bunch of restaurants and stuff all in that area. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem, we can do that. And he was like, okay, fine, I just have to pick up my rental car and like just do a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was like, okay, that's fine, we'll meet at such and such time, and blase. We meet up, and everything is going decent. Actually, everything was not going decent. It was actually a pretty shitty time, because when we got there, he was like stalling. He was doing a whole lot of stalling on why we couldn't go shopping, or why I couldn't do this and why I couldn't do that. And I'm like, okay, this sounds like you trying to finesse me. Like, this is what this sounds like. Sounds like you brought me out here to waste my time. And I don't like my time wasted, honey. Not even a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. And I'm like, I'm still staying, you know, just to not make it too obvious that I'm getting the fuck out of here. So we leave it at, we're like still in the Caesars area. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of hungry. We can go get something to eat. And he was like, yeah, sure. We ended up going to like P.F. Chang's or something. Yeah, it was like P.F. Chang's that was in like Caesars. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm really not that hungry. I just want to like get dessert or whatever. And yeah, like I'm just gonna get dessert. So like we're sitting there. I'm trying to make like small talk so it's not like too awkward or like just forced, because this was already forced, honestly. So I'm just trying to make small conversation and like, you know, give a little razzle dazzle while you have me in your presence, or I have you in my presence, whatever the case may be. But it was a blessing for me to even be there with him. So I was like, okay, let me bless you real quick with this great personality. Here goes nothing. And a whole bunch of small talk happened, and then he gets a phone call. I'm I'm like, okay, a little phone call. He answers, and I'm like, okay, a little phone call, whatever. Like, we weren't just talking or anything. It's probably gonna be quick. He's gonna make it snappy. No, this man was on the phone with whoever he was on the phone with for a cool like 20 minutes. 20 minutes just on the phone. What am I doing here? Why am I present here when he's not present here? Like, come on, I'm the gift. I am like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So at that point, I'm highly upset. I'm irritated. And then I'm also thinking in the back of my head, damn, why did I waste my time and leave the house for this? And I hope he doesn't think I'm paying for this little ice cream banana dessert that I had, because I'm not paying for it. So he finally gets off the phone. I'm like, okay, I'm actually ready to go. I think I'm actually gonna leave or whatever. So he's like,
No, wait, I'm having such a good time that you're here spending time with me.
huh? You're having a great time. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm ready to go home. I'm glad you're having a great time, but I'm ready to go home. And this man proceeds to go,
okay, well, we can go back shopping. I had to make sure I got the money on my card, and they tried to say that it was fraudulent stuff going on my card, so they froze it, and I just been trying to switch money from card to card. That's why we couldn't go shopping early.
and I'm like, all right, love the excuses, honey, but get to it. So do you have the money or not? Black and white, that's all. So he's like,
Yeah, I got a little bit of money for us to do some shopping.
I said, about time, baby. I'm ready. Let's head on down to the mall area. Let's get it started. This man, we're passing the tables to go to the mall, the tables that are for gambling and stuff. He's like,
okay, hold on. Let me just try to flip this money real quick.
flip this money. Honey, that's my money. That is my money. So then he proceeds to go,
Okay, it's just gonna be a minute. It's just gonna take a few minutes. I just want to see if I can just flip this. Like, I'm just feeling lucky.
that should have been a sign right there. I should have known. He should have been at Gamblers Anonymous. I should have put two and two together. The man was gambling his life away on the ship constantly. I do remember seeing him a few times at the casino. So I'm like, I know he couldn't have just won that $3,000 just on a limb. Like, you know, he had to have been playing for a cool minute. So I'm like, okay, sir, you need to be at Gamblers Anonymous because this seems like an addiction. So we're sitting at actually we're not even sitting, standing at the, I think it was Keno table. No, it wasn't Keno. Might have been blackjack. It's where the ball goes on. You like try to guess if it's red or black, whatever that game is called. Yes, it was that game. So he's like standing there, starts betting, and these bets went on for like 15 minutes. I was like, okay, this kind of been a cool minute. I'm still sitting here. It's been about 15 minutes. 30 minutes go by. He's up. I'm not even gonna lie. He was up. Like, he was getting his money. He flipped the money and he was up. So I'm like, damn, this is like 30 minutes. I think that's why I stayed, because he was up. And I was like, okay, this is looking on the bright side. Great. This is going great. So then I sit for like 30 more minutes. Now it's an hour. At this point, I'm walking around the casino on my own, ready to do my own shopping, ready to do my own thing. I come back to where he's at, and I'm telling you, while I'm there, you know how the ladies walk around with the little trays to give you like a free Corona or like free tequila, like just any free drink that you want. She kept coming around asking me, oh, would you like anything to drink, honey? No, I don't even want to be here. Please leave my sight. So then after like the 50th time she comes around, he's finally like up to where I think maybe in his mind he's okay and we're ready to leave. So he's like,
oh yeah, so sorry, this is taking a while, but like I got something in, like it's just going so good right now, I just can't leave from the table.
I'm like, okay, well honey, I'm about to leave from your life. I'm about to head on out. Hit the road, Jack. And then he goes,
okay, but hold on, before you leave.
He just said, before you leave, like, just, do me a favor right before you get the fuck out of my face. He was like,
oh yeah, just go take this to the cage for me and go cash it in.
Take this to the cage for you, cash it in. Baby, no problem. I got you. Let me make sure I got my ID. I look at the little chips that he gives me, and I don't know what I was thinking in my head, but like a quick thought in my mind was like, these chips are fake. Why would I even turn these in to go cash them out? That's weird. But anyways, that was just like a little side thought. But to know, I'm looking at the chips and I'm like counting them at this point, and it's at least $400 in chips right here. So I'm like, oh my God, he just gave me this. Like, he trusts me enough to give me the chips to go take to the cage to go get the cash. Say less. I'm running to the cage. I hurry up and got my little ID out. I took my little coins. I said, yes, here they are. Gave it to the lady at the cage. She counted them out for me. Counted out my little $400. I said, wow, this is nice. I think I might like it here a little bit. Okay. I take my little $400, and you know what I did? I dipped up out of there. I ran. No, I didn't really run, but I speed walked. I was gone. I said, oh yeah, honey. I wasn't sure if you were giving this to me to cash it out for myself to get out of your face, or were you telling me to cash it out for you to bring it back to you? Not sure what it was, but I wasn't about to block my own blessing. So I went ahead, took that money, left about that little hotel, called my little Uber, headed on out. Was out that bitch. I hurry up and blocked him on everything. I was like, well, thank God, because he sure did waste my time. My time. Time is money, baby. Just always remember that. Time is money. And he wasted all of my time. So God said, I'm gonna bless you with $400. And I said, thank you so much. And took that and went on my merry little way and never looked back. Whether it was a blessing or I was really supposed to give that man back his money, to this day, I don't know. But I truly believe in my heart, in my soul, that was my money to keep. And that's just on period. And really, that's the end of the story. That this is real life. Yes, all of this has really happened. And I just want to say, like I said in the beginning, I don't date the poor, the broke, the ghetto any longer. I don't, because that whole story, a whole ghetto mess, baby. A whole ghetto mess. Like, just beyond me, how much I dealt with men that are not even worth quarters, honestly. But with that being said, ladies, don't block your blessing. If God is giving you signs, please take them and take them to the bank, honey. Much love. Always like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed, everybody who liked. I appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much. I'm about to be more consistent, I promise.